one of the biggest mistakes I ever made is to buy a house in Florida. Personally, I love Florida, but I think that Florida is a good place to visit, but not to live. You can say same thing about New York City, but I think that Florida is worse. Why? Because minimum wage is so low, there are not that many good jobs. Plus, education sucks and healthcare sucks. Somebody told me Florida sucks so bad. After I bought the house, I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I was in denial, but now I believe it. And I think that Florida sucks.
Florida is expensive. I think I'm never going to move there. Probably California instead.
Nah, you don't want to go to California either. California's the same way. I think like where we're at in Texas is a very good price. Like, do you love Texas? Like, how much you like Texas?
A lot.
Don't do that. You're going to unplug the mic, sir. And you ain't going to be able to hear you. Yeah, man, look.
This next lady said buying a home in Florida is so disappointing.
Oh,
I know. Probably going to be living outside stealing some food without nobody looking. Probably digging in the trash can because you don't have no money there. Planes cost a lot of money in Florida. How would you do it? Probably you have to walk all the way to a new state.
Yeah, well, hopefully they ain't got to walk, Jay. But look, Jay, let's look at the next clip. Let's look at it. Let's look.
Nothing has crushed my soul quite like a Florida HOA, because they are no joke here. $500 a month. I promise you I'm not going to use that tennis court. I pinky promise I will not put a singular toe in that pool. Like, I kind of wonder if I can just send a letter like, hey, how you doing? Can I just pay $100 for like the gate and maybe like a parking spot? And I promise not to ever need you. I don't know. It just seems absurd. It doesn't include internet, utilities, water. $500 to look at a tennis court. Baby, I am not using that. What? No. At this point, I feel like I'm being punked. Are you serious? Yeah, I put in the parameters of what I can afford, and this is it.
Cute and sad music. She's just crying. That's crazy, man. Them Florida, man, them house payments is going up. That's why she can't afford it.
Man, she was crying.
Yeah, she was crying because, you want to know why?
Why?
Because she's saying buying a house in Florida is expensive and she can't afford it.
Then get out of the house and walk to a new state because they're too expensive to buy planes there.
Well, that's easier said than done. Let's look at this next clip, y'all.
Florida homeowners trapped underwater can't sell and can't afford to stay. If you did not know, right now Florida is one of the top markets for people who paid too much for their home a few years ago and cannot sell. Florida is also the second state where people are struggling the most financially. They are also in the top 9 of credit card delinquencies. The governor will now be decreasing Florida FHP troopers and increasing immigration. You heard me correctly. Employment rate is 4.5% in Florida. If you did not know, in the United States, 1 out of every 4 people, 25%, has been considered long-term unemployed, which is 20 weeks or longer. We have lost 1.2 jobs so far in 2025. January is, quote, mass layoffs. Companies are not hiring. They are not spending money. Hi, my name is Christina. I have a master's degree in business. Please do the best that you can to get your finances in order.
I cannot afford Florida anymore. I just looked at my budget and my electric bill for December, which in Florida, mind you, we don't use the AC very much when it comes to December, okay? My electric bill for this December was more expensive than my electric bill from August of 2020, one of the hottest months of the year. Make that make sense. I used way less electricity in December than I do in August of any given year, and somehow my bill is now higher. My electric bills have more than doubled in the course of 5 years. And also, my water bill has more than doubled. And not to mention the rates of my insurance, property taxes, yada, yada, yada. It's all just gone up and up and up. I thought homeownership was supposed to be the cure-all solution. You buy a property, you pay it off one day, and then you are just fancy living, here we come. But apparently, that's not the case, as I know many homeowners who bought in Florida who are being priced out, and they have like the neighborhood fees or the association fees. Those have gone up rampantly without any sort of guardrails, and people who bought houses are just being priced out because of that alone. Luckily, I don't have those, but even I'm still feeling the squeeze with everything going up in the budget, so I'm selling. I can't afford it. And to those saying renting's not much better, I don't know, like at least you have the mobility to leave, I guess. You know what I mean? The most frustrating thing to me is that we were all just promised this one thing when we all went to college to get the degree and we saved up all the money to make the down payment on the house, and that has not panned out. I'm not like some financial expert. I'm just some guy who just knows that his bills have gone up astronomically, and my baseline number for cost of living per month, even before groceries or like buying clothes, I know from firsthand lived experience that this situation here does not work for me financially. And when the only answer you can get as to why did my bills double in 5 years is just because, that doesn't really give me any comfort that it's gonna get better anytime soon. So I'm tapping out now while I still can, because I'm getting priced out of existence here in Florida. And that's that.
Trying to buy a home in South Florida as just a regular middle class person is honestly a joke. It's honestly a joke because why would I pay over $500,000 for a house that only has one bathroom? Like, why is this a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house, 3 to 4 bedrooms, and it only has one bathroom, but you want over $500,000 for it? That's crazy. And it's like, I would never purchase a condo in South Florida because the condos that would be within my budget, the HOA fee is going to be through the roof, because ever since, what happened with Surfside where the high-rise collapsed or whatever, auditors and city inspectors, they're going to these, complexes who have paid to, skip inspections and get past. They're going and they're actually checking and making sure that their building is up to date, and it's not. And so now HOAs are going up because they need money to do all these repairs because they were not maintaining the building over all these years. So unless I can move it to a brand new condo building, which I can't afford that, and they're small, a condo is just, the resale value on it is just going to be terrible. Like, I don't want a condo, but it's like I don't want to live in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. I don't want to live in a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. And I sure as hell don't want to live in one of those townhouses where it's like 20 townhouses in a row and they're all freaking different colors. Like, no, like buying a house down here, it's just not going to happen. Eventually, I'm going to have to go back to Jacksonville.
She basically said you got to be rich basically to buy a house in Florida. She said,
For real.
yeah, for real. She said a house is almost $1 million and just 1 bathroom. So we got 2 bathrooms, just having 1.
Yeah, and this place was even cheaper.
You said what?
And this place wasn't even cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's way cheaper than
Yeah,
$500,000.
we have like
or
1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, basically the couch too. So I'll count that as a 3.
You counting the couch as a bedroom?
Yeah, kind of. You can sit on the couch.
I mean, I guess living room. He's trying to say the living room, but you can't count a couch as a room. But
okay, but we have literally 3 beds in here. No, 4 I think, because my bed and Brayden's bed. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like 4 beds in here.
But guess what? We moving to Florida because I want to spend $1 million on a house. What you think?
I'm not spending $1 million.
You ain't spending nothing. You ain't. What do you think? We're gonna go to Florida, okay?
I don't wanna.
Nah, look, he don't even want to go. All right, look, let's look at this next clip.
We didn't decide to move from Florida to Alabama just to have a better house, but that is a plus. All of the costs were adding up. I mean, car insurance, almost $400 a month, property taxes around $6,000, not to mention we were in about 1,600 square feet and on a 5,000 square foot lot. It was not very big. The traffic was absolutely insane. We probably worked around 30 miles from our house and it was taking us around an hour to get to work. But now we can pay $100 in car insurance for both of our vehicles. Property taxes are around $900 a year for our 2,400 square foot house and our ½ an acre that we are under contract for. So definitely helps with savings. Oh, and we don't have any CDDs or HOA, which we were paying a ton of in Florida. Are you thinking about making the move? Or maybe you already have. Let me know how it's going.
A lot of people move to Florida thinking the biggest cost will be the house. But that's not the surprise. For many homeowners, the real shock comes later. Insurance. In some parts of Florida, homeowners insurance cost several times the national average. And many people moving from other states don't realize that big difference until they buy. It's one of the biggest reasons some people say they regret moving to Florida. But there's also a bigger story behind why it's happening. I break it all down in my video on my channel.
We have an affordable housing issue here in Central Florida. Just the other day on social media, I posted that the average rent in Central Florida is $2,300 for a 3-bedroom house. Now here's what the problem is with that. Assuming the landlord wants 3 times the income, that means that household needs to make over $82,000 a year. The problem? The median household income in Florida is only $74,000, meaning 50% of Floridians cannot afford an average 3-bedroom home. My name's James. I have over 10 years experience as a realtor. I was named top 20 under 40 realtors by Central Florida's Orlando Regional Realtors Association, and I have national sales awards with Century 21. We have an affordable housing crisis, and we aren't talking about it enough.
They saying it's an issue, Jay, a housing issue, so they saying people can't get the houses.
What? Oh my god.
I know, man. Hey, look at this next one. He's going to break down the reasons, the 5 reasons people regret moving down there to Florida. Let's look at it.
All right.
All right, well, I'm going to change things up today, and you often hear me talk about the positives of moving to Southwest Florida. And I've compiled a list of 5 reasons why people end up regretting moving to Southwest Florida. Are you ready to hear them? All right, so I took some notes, and I'm going to go over this pretty quick. I don't want this to be a long video, but here are the top 5 reasons people regret moving to Southwest Florida. And number 1 is going to be they underestimate the cost of living. And you have homeowners insurance, you may have flood insurance, HOA fees, and property taxes can change upon settlement. So you can't go off of what the property taxes are when you buy it. They can change when you settle. So the first one is underestimating the cost of living. Number 2, didn't realize how seasonal Southwest Florida is. Now, what do I mean? We all move there for the weather, and wintertime is absolutely beautiful. But wintertime brings more people, higher population, more traffic, can't get into a restaurant, depending on your area. And I'm speaking about Naples, and all of that is true. Number 3 is choosing the wrong community. You know, this is a big one. Golf communities are not for everyone. Listen, do you know how many people I talk to that live on golf communities that don't golf, and they're in the direct path of a golf ball, and their house gets beat up every single day by these golfers? So that is a big one. So that's number 3. Number 4 is they weren't prepared for hurricane season. Now, obviously hurricane season runs from June to November, and storm prep has to become a part of life when you do live down there. You know, where are you going to go? You know, who's going to put up your shutters? So all of that, once you get used to it, it's not a problem, you know. And then number 5 is they miss their families and relatives. You know, everybody wants to move down there, but then they forget, like, oh, I have grandkids, or, oh, I miss my daughter, my son. You know, obviously we moved to Southwest Florida for the lifestyle and the weather. Listen, they're the 2 top reasons, right? So there's tons of advantages of moving to Southwest Florida, and there are some disadvantages. So these are my 5 reasons why people regret moving to Southwest Florida. Number 1, again, underestimate the cost of living. Number 2, didn't realize how seasonal it was. Wintertime is beautiful, but boy, does it get busy. Number 3, choosing the wrong community. This is a big one. I often hear people move into communities and didn't realize that it's for retirees when they have a young family. So you got to be careful. And number 4, weren't prepared for hurricane season. Now listen, we may not get another hurricane for 10 years, but you need to be aware of the preparation. And number 5 is they miss their friends, family, and relatives. So again, tons of advantages, a few disadvantages, but listen, here is why it's important. Schedule a free, no obligation discovery call with me. We will go over all of this. We will hone in on what you're looking for, the type of lifestyle you want, your budget, your timing, motivation, type of community you want. I will go over all of this, and this call can last about an hour. So I always say, be prepared to sit for 45 minutes with me, whether it's over the phone or over Zoom. So listen, I'm an optimist by nature, but you know what? There are some reasons people regret moving to Southwest Florida. Remember, the most important decision that you're going to make when buying or selling real estate, it's not about location. It's about the broker you hire.
I cried so much the day that we moved into our house. Thought we'd made a massive mistake, so I need to make sure that I don't do this to the people who end up in our house, basically. So when we viewed the house, we were so impressed and commented so much on how clean it was, and just did not imagine what we would be walking into. So this was our mistake completely, as we shouldn't have expected like anything. We shouldn't have expected it to be spotless, but I think we just did, because it was honestly so clean on the viewings. First of all, it absolutely stunk from the minute we walked in there. They'd left out a bin bag full of food, including like old meat, which I presume was just an oversight when they were cleaning out the fridge. But the whole house absolutely stunk. The estate agent told us when we went to collect the keys that the back doors had been left open because they had been doing some cleaning. So I thought, brilliant, yeah. Well, the smell of dog, I'm telling you, I have never smelled anything like it, ever. Like, the entire room was stinking, and that was with big double doors open. Now, we also presume they got a puppy in between our last viewing and completion, because all of the skirting boards downstairs were completely chewed up, and the back door was absolutely covered in scratches. Every kitchen cupboard was sticky, had I don't even know what in it, and needed fully deep cleaning before we could even put anything away. The fridge they were actually leaving for us, so they left that for us, but it had like, you know, really old spilt milk in it. My favourite was that they had the TVs on the wall, but it turns out to put the TVs on the wall, they had literally smashed a hole on the wall at the top where the TV was going to go, and then a hole at the bottom, and then they'd thrown an extension cable down the back. So when we came in, there were these massive holes, but like big holes that had literally just been smashed through with a hammer. Now, I get it's a lot moving, and I can imagine it's really difficult to pack up everything and fully make it clean. Like, I would never expect like spotless, and I know there will always be something when you remove furniture, for example. Like, the carpets are probably going to be different colour from the sun and stuff, and the carpet stains, it is what it is. But I'm wondering if anyone has hired a cleaner or like a cleaning team for the day they move to follow around and do each room as it empties, because I just don't want anybody to walk in and be as mortified as we were.
So many people are wishing on my downfall. It's actually kind of crazy. If you haven't heard, I'm the girl who bought a house that we like can't afford. It is crazy to me how many people took that so literally. You guys are literally waiting for the day that we move out of this house. We could never have moved into a house that we knew we could not afford. The reason that I said that to begin with was because we need to sell our last house to be able to comfortably afford this one. To whoever has bought a home knows that it's just that like in between phase of selling your old house, buying the new house, possibly having to pay 2 mortgages. It can be a lot. We would have never done anything to put our family on the street. Not that I'm like trying to explain myself over here, but like this is getting out of hand a little bit. Most of the stuff we are planning on doing to the house, we plan on actually just DIYing ourselves. Like, out. For those of you wishing on my downfall, it ain't coming anytime soon. We're gonna be here for a very, very long time. Y'all can stick around and see how we make this place our home. We got so many plans for this place. We genuinely have no idea where to even start. We can't afford to start anywhere until we sell our old house. So we're just gonna have to sit tight for a little and dream. So buckle up, because we're gonna be here for a while. Okay, bye.
I made a mistake. Not because I bought the wrong house. I bought the wrong life and came to Florida chasing a dream. I wanted sunshine, water views, maintenance-free living, a shorter winter, an easy life.
Oh, nah.
Nah, what, Jay?
Bro, that's too much bills.
Too much views.
Bills.
Too much, yeah. Look, she came to Florida expecting a dream. So she thought she was going to move to Florida. It was going to be all nice, eat candy all day. Basically, eat candy and have fun, Jay.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. He said bad idea. I agree to what? You can't take it no more, right?
Why did you do that? Just live at the other state. They that candy. It's cheaper. The candy's cheaper there. And when you go to Walmart at Florida, it's so expensive. A water, probably like $15.
Oh my goodness! Guess what? We're gonna send you to Florida. We're gonna send you over there. Me, Braden, and Mommy gonna stay in Texas.
You better not put me in a package and then put me in the airport, put me on top of the suitcase thing, and you better not.
Yeah, we're gonna put him in a box. We're gonna send you priority mail. So that means you're gonna get there fast. You can go.
And then you go like pause it, and if we have a box, you should like put me inside of it, and then you're gonna take me there.
No. See, he think it's a game. Look, next video, you ain't gonna see him. He gone. Well, I don't know what he's talking about. Next video, you're not gonna see Jaden no more. He's gonna be gone. So bye, JJ. Bye.
No.
But hey, if y'all know anybody going through this nonsense, man, let me know. He traumatized. He traumatized. But look, if y'all know anybody who's in Florida going through this nonsense, let me know, man. Drop it down in the comments. It's been Josh and Jaden.
Going to Florida.
Oh my goodness, it's been Josh and Jaden from Talk to Him Boy, and say I just talked to you, boy. Say
You better watch my YouTube channel so I can get 50 subs to be live.
It say